Hello and welcome to another Let's Play GamerWolfSix of Major Minor. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, it's on Steam for free. Anyways, on the last Let's Play, I actually have a thing down there because I couldn't remember everything. So, Max needs to kill everyone, or at least everyone in the band, or maybe even more. But not me, apparently. I think there's a VIP, which I would think it was me. Let's see. She threatens Singe so that she can put stuff in her security stuff in all this building that we're working in. Let's see. Rook may be the next target. Claire tries and successfully connects with Rook, and Archon has chat with Daz. There we go. Anyways, when I arrive in the office, they stare at me intently. I quickly apologize for any tarnations I have displayed. I explained that Acheron held me up in order to chat. It seems to be enough to sate their curiosity. Also, I'm completely failing the true ending. Neither of them seemed to be aware that I was listening in. No worries, we had no schedule. Besides, Keela kept me company. We had quite a long chat about... Yeah, Singe is really cool. He's smart and well-spoken. I could learn a lot from him. I do find it weird that this is not the true path, because, we learned a bit more. Though I wonder what would happen if we just walked in. Granted, you flatter me, Keela. But please, have a seat. There's much to discuss. I do as instructed and sit beside Keela. I expected the atmosphere in the room to be happy. But for some reason, I feel a sense of dread. Why would you think it would be happy? Singe also looks like he's at his wit's end. I mean, you know what happened recently, right? At the press conference, he seemed to be so calm and carefree. Really? Apparently you're less able to read people than I am. But that must be an act for the public. I have to wonder, is this how he truly feels? I wanted to start by thanking you both. Your dedication has been unmatched. Granted, dedication was, hey, coming here, be at a press conference. It is really weird that they put us in the spotlight for, winning an energy drink contest. The contest was a massive success. To that end, I have a present for you. I want to give it to you much earlier, Sip. Just give me a moment to get them, alright? I'm surprised I didn't have that prepared, but still. Singe reaches under the table for a few moments. He opens and closes drawers, looking for something. After a few moments, he smiles and lets out a sigh. Almost like he was afraid he lost them for a moment. They're gears of war. I know you had to give away the cans. The ones that won you the spot, I mean. To be honest, I found that silly. So I decided to have replicas made. Something you could keep as a souvenir. They are exactly the same as you knew. Yes, I'm a man of sentiment. You can have the empty cans that you drank. Or at least replicas of them. The contest meant clearly a lot to you. You guys are hopped off on goofballs, so I thought this would be a nice gift. He places 2 cans of Pop Star on his desk. Me and Keela exchange glances with one another. Wow, Singe, this is really awesome. I was sad I had to give mine away. But everything was okay. Keela happily grabbed his can and placed it in his pocket. He has big pockets, apparently. This sure was interesting. I didn't expect it. A can on the desk reminds me of those simpler times. Oh, yeah. It was an exact replica of the one that got me here, So how would you know, anyways? Because you'd think the cans would look the same on the outside as every other can, you know? The people don't immediately look for a golden can or something, right? That seems a little different, doesn't it? After all that's happened, was it really so prestigious? It seems that it's won lots of pain and suffering. I know myself that things would resolve happily. Still, I don't seem to accept the offering. Also, it is kind of weird that the game is like, here's all this information, like, not here's how you win, like, get the true ending, but here's all this information that you get on the side, which you can't have anything to do with, you know? And don't think affects the end game. I'm not sure. Accept the offering. I rest it on my lap, noticing that it's full. I'm assuming it's full of piss. I mean, Singe wants it to stay that way. I had to guard over these cans with my life. I didn't want them to get stolen or leaked. Like, how would you know they're the winning cans? Then there would be more than 2 winners. This is a personal present from myself. Please treat them with love and care. Love these cans. Well, could you please make it out to eBay? I'm asking for me. With that said, we have to move on. What has happened since we arrived here? And especially since you two arrived. I'm sorry that this has to come to this, but I no longer feel safe keeping you here, bugger. I have arranged for transportation. Tomorrow, you will both be taken home. I'm afraid the contest is cancelled. Trust me, it's not what I want here. I truly wish I had better news, but we had to move on from this. You two are exempt from my previous rule of having to stay inside the building. You're both free, but that's not all. You'll be receiving compensation, of course. We have a lot of money set aside for you two, like entire $1,000 each. Instead, we'll just be giving it to you two. Giving it to you. You'll get a check. God, how do you spell check? I don't think that's how you spell check, but okay. Before you leave, maybe this person's English. British. For about $100,000. I mean, that seems pretty good. Could buy you half a house in America. At least before the, COVID thing. I hope these terms are acceptable. Your flight home will be tomorrow. I hope we can be mature here. We agree to these terms? I will. And on acceptance, I can't exactly say no. But I knew I was still needed in Terra. And have to play the rest of it by ear. I wonder how where did that phrase come from? Play the rest of it by ear. Because I use that, but what's it mean? Specifically. Like, play it by ear is like, play it as it goes, but like, what's it mean by ear? This money isn't much. When worlds are at stake. Well, also it isn't much. I mean, it's a lot, but it ain't much also. With that said, I have one last gift. Singe reaches in his pocket and pulls out 2 cards. Interesting, they appear to be credit cards. There's one for each of you. They have a few $1,000s on them. He'll help you cash in the check. Until you cash in the check? This is my own personal money too. Another gift, directly for me. There are lots of amenities on site. I trust you'll enjoy your final day. Your flight will leave by noon. Meet me in the lobby by 7 o'clock. Okay. Gila grabs one of the cards and puts it in his pocket. I follow suit and do the same thing. This is eerie. It's almost like this wasn't happening. It was surreal. An end of an era. era, it feels like. Everything we both wanted, taken away from us. But I can't give up. Still lots to solve. So, like, here's the thing. Bugger, I lost some of it. Could this be a plan by Max to get rid of at least one of us so that, they know that she can, like, do things without having to involve us? VIPs? Also, I completely forgot the other thing. Just then, Singe's phone rings. He puts up a finger, ordering us to wait a moment. Yes, Singe speaking. Wait, I guess we could have continued going on, It wouldn't be... Sorry, I can't remember the name, but we would be with Days. I see. Are you certain? I understand. Please call for help. He hangs up his phone. Some sounds share with a huge sigh. What happened? Who was that? I'm afraid I have some bad news. A corpse was found on the premises. In the backstage area, to be precise. It's saying this thing. How many people would survive? I don't know how I could save him unless we had, I don't know, one positive thing or 0 negative things, If that's the guy. Are you serious? Singe places both hands over his face. He continues to speak as if it's muffled. It's unclear what emotion is worn underneath. It was Rocker, our guitarist. Interesting. Could I have saved him by talking to him at that other time? Again, earlier. It's funny how it's like, again, earlier, at another time. You shouldn't have known this because we didn't tell you. So I guess that's all I need to say. List of these people ends dark. And dark would be VIP, not to mention the power I've given you. Any questions before I send you back? I'm not sure if that means she would kill me too. Interesting. It could be, I don't know. Remember, this may be your only chance. I don't want you leaving with any regrets. Very interesting. So I'm having to assume it's either he has to protect me or kill me. None. It was all very clear. He is somebody important in the next game. Not actually in... Well, actually, I don't know. He's somebody important. Because I remember that red stripe. It might be hard to find a way in. The tour already has a guard, Shouldn't be an issue. And after that, your opposition. Their goal is to kill. Yours is to protect. Again, it shouldn't be an issue. I have never failed any of my clients. Well, I guess you did. I have no need to treat this differently. Oh, there's some leeway here. You just need to leave one person alive. For your competition, it's all or nothing. It'll be interesting to see who wins. Life and death fight each other. Also, do you have an amulet too that does the gear thing of pausing time? The spot is as good as mine. I have no intention of ruining my record. I've never let a client down before. Very well. I have one final request, however, regarding the one called Dark. What is it? I'll be making up a big story. Something about parallel worlds. They'll think they have a power. If they tell you this, humor them. They mustn't know the truth of things. They are the key to my other venture. Very well. That being said, are you ready for the games to begin? The eternal circle of life and death? But this time, we'll have a victor. Yes, I am. Good. One final thing. When you meet your opposition, I think you'll come to understand. There is no motivation like sibling rivalry. Are they related? Bugger! Velasquez kneels at the altar, surrounded by silence, even though there's a whole bunch of people jamming in the background. In my time of need, I fear I am alone. But who does a man such as me pray to, when I have already bear the burden of the world? And when its fate is upon us. He grips the scepter with in his hands, trembling softly. A moment to the dead is my only hope. Perhaps that is proof enough of my failure. But I know that we can find salvation, for nothing is below such a right. Not as long as they have power, or if they have the strength to use it. Heh. The fate of the universe is now a gamble. And here I am, filled with doubt. When once I was so sure. However, now it is too late. They are coming with 1,000 furies or furries, and they will seek only our destruction. Taking a deep breath, he stands. But as they say about desperate times, he aims the sharp side of his scepter towards his body. Drives it through his chest. With a frightening scream, he loses his balance. Yeah. Grabbing onto the pure for balance, he watches the floor become stained with his blood. Cries, "For Terra and the immortal king." What the flip is going on? Well, I guess I shouldn't have focused on what they had on the title screen, and also that one guy talking about him being on his throne and maybe deceiving me. Though, unless it's one of those things where it's like if I choose to trust the assassins, that would be an entirely different route, in which case, he would be a bad guy. I mean, I have no idea. Bugger. Also, what happened to my body on Terra? He sat in silence for too long. Singe rests his face in his hands in utter defeat. Keela and I exchanged glances, unsure of what to do. Was Rocker truly dead? And aligning perfectly with those mysterious texts. Wait. I have to use my brain here. The message said a friend of mine would die today. I can't say I'd consider Rocker a friend. We've had next to no contact since I've arrived. The only people I've had real contact with. Keela, Rook, and they're safe and sound, supposedly. As I made eye contact with Keela, I struck. Perhaps it would be best to leave Singe alone. And perhaps leave this place altogether. We shouldn't have to wait until morning. We shouldn't have to, No danger like this lurking about. Especially not since we have those strict credit cards. Singe. Are you okay? I'm conflicted. Rocker was a progeny. His loss is profound. Not just for me, but my endeavors. But for the music industry as a whole. He takes out his phone and starts texting. I must confer with Acheron. But I think we all know what this means. Huh? The killer is among us. This calls for a change of plans. A change? I need to work with Acheron. Together, we can catch this killer. On the other hand, your flight home has been bumped up. I'll make sure you're home later tonight. I'm sure you understand. Glace was not an isolated incident. The worst has come to pass. We're under attack. I can't risk you two as casualties. Yeah, I understand. Talk about the worst case scenario. I wonder if this tour will even happen. So much has gone to waste. But for what purpose? Why would somebody want to do this? That's a good question, actually. And I did have a better grasp of things than he did. It's whether there's like the midnight deaths and some kind of separate murderer, and then now there's this kind of thing. But somehow the midnight deaths are connected to people being transported to another planet. What about these ones? Are we just killing them, or are they just going to another planet? Someone is misusing their powers from the Ark. Why would that man give it to them in the first place? I assume that he chose his specimens carefully. At least, that's the impression he gave me. I didn't think he'd choose someone so reckless. In fact, I thought I was the only one chosen. And do I really want to leave? I feel like I have a part to play in this mystery. For now, it seems like this ends tonight. As that's all the time I have before I'm sent home. It's a tall order. Catch a murderer and save Terra all in one night. I feel like I bit off more than I can chew. So, what do we do in the meantime? I would suggest sticking together, or at least be around those you trust. Shock and Rocker rarely part ways. The killer must have been watching. They waited until Rocker was alone. Don't give him the chance. I'm afraid that's all the evidence I have. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I guess this game is supposed to be played carefully. Again, like, you know, the lady talking about quantum physics, the bird, and all, like, death alive thing, and then this thing happening. And then I did look and said that the more optimal route, the one that's the true ending, is to be with, instead of talking to the security guard, you talk with, you know, Rocker and stuff. So yeah, it would have to be, you know, redoing this afterwards. I guess you might get some kind of time thing, I guess. I mean, there's a save file and whatnot. Going to make us stay here when there's a killer out in a boot? That's crazy. I thought you'd maybe make us wait at the airport or something, Singe, but keeping us in harm's way? It's a very pessimistic way of looking at this, Keela. You should rethink this. This is basically a hostage situation. You might as well have guns to our heads. And what's the one thing you must never do when someone has a gun pointed at you? Fart? Make some movements? Exactly. A rash action like that might provoke an assailant into making rash action on their own. I mean, if you can duck, I'm not sure how somebody's fast reaction is, but if you can duck your head down, it might be a bit quicker than the gun. Dunno. You must remain here. I think it's best if we let them assume their plan is coming to fruition. That way, we can catch them off guard later on. I will discuss the best course of action with Acheron. If I'm not mistaken, this is far from the first brush with the killer. But as it stands, I think the best course of action is not to give off an impression that we fear the killer, that we're running. I guess that makes sense. I didn't know. Truth be told, I don't know either, but Acheron will. If the plan changes, I'll let you know. That's his contact information. Even though we haven't actually contacted anybody so far. We haven't contacted Keela, or the cat call girl lady, or him. Grand, we just got his. Alright. James leaned back in his chair with a sigh. Also, it's weird that we didn't get, the bodyguard's phone number. At first, I thought I was responsible for Clay's death. That maybe allowing him to leave this place put him in danger. But now, I know where we've been targeted. Honestly, I think that Clace would have been attacked no matter where he was. I don't know if that's scary, or if it's reassuring, but now, the burden of responsibility is one easily discarded. I feel as if my mind has become more clear. I'll use this newfound resolve to find and restrain the killer. Give them justice. Wait, killer? Do you give justice to a killer? You'd think you give punishment to a killer, but anyways, that and Acheron and myself will do it swiftly. Slams his fist down on the table. You're free to go. Please heed the advice, and I will be in contact about your flight. I understand where he's coming from. Guilt can be a devastating force. To be free from it is truly liberating, especially if it wasn't your fault. Dark, you can go. I need to have a few words with Singe. I'll run into you later, I'm sure. Keela reclines in his chair, clearly displaying that he was here to stay. Very well. Be safe, Dark. I nod. There's all a lot to process. I guess we were expected to act like rats in a cage, moving in a mastermind's expectations. Hopefully, none of us wants to rattle in a cage. Yeah, especially since we're out of time. Or getting close to it anyways. Now that's gonna... Oops, sorry, I put my own audio down. That's gonna be the end of this Let's Play. So anyways, please comment, cause I like comments, if you like, dislike, tips, or always. If you like me, YouTube, and would like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the others that have grow. And please remember surveying your animals to help control the pet population. And until next time, let's say, me, GamerWolfSix of Major Minor, a game where I'm possibly choosing the worst path, except for at least one, flag. Thanks and see ya.